Many stories surround the dark web, so it's natural you may be curious about it. Despite having some legitimate uses, the dark web usually gets a bad reputation from its associations with various dangers and marketplaces of illegal goods. What we do know for certain is that for everyday use, we access only 10% of the internet. The websites that we visit daily belong to the surface web, the part of the internet that search engines can index. But what about the rest? Everything else belongs to the deep web, including e-banking, cloud services, and email servers. But the deep web is more than just transactions and correspondence. It is also home to the smallest and scariest part of the internet, the encrypted dark web. Of course, it is not technically part of the deep web. It is its own encrypted world. The purpose of the dark web is to give users absolute or near absolute anonymity. We can therefore compare the internet to an iceberg. The part we use every day is only the tip. So what exactly is the dark web? How do you get there? And does it worth you to ever take that risk? The dark web is the hidden part of the internet that search engines can't find. It includes the things we usually don't see. It's not exactly part of the deep web. It's like its own secret place that is locked with codes. The idea behind the dark web is to let users stay very private. That's why the websites on the dark web don't have regular links like we are used to. They use jumbled letters and numbers that are hard to remember. And the content there is quite similar to what we find on the normal web, message boards, shops, portals, and news sites. You can even use a special dark web search engine, but it's not as good as the ones we use every day because the websites often change their addresses. This makes things safer even though it's a bit slower. Even money is kept secret on the dark web. Instead of using your credit card or PayPal, you will probably use something called cryptocurrency. As you may know, the most famous one is Bitcoin. Ever since the dark web came to be, there were reports and rumors of drug markets, human trafficking, and worse doing business on the secret corner of the web. Which of these are true and which are just urban legends? Imagine yourself in a red room about to be tortured. Then the guy who's gonna torture you walks in and says, "Before we start the video, let's thank our sponsor NordVPN." And you are just sitting there like it might seem exciting to you, right? But that's not the whole story. Yes, we have a dark world and all sorts of crimes occur worldwide for money, but it's not like that. Silk Road. Silk Road is a name widely associated with the dark web. This infamous marketplace, launched in early 2011, gained notoriety for its role in facilitating drug trafficking. Eventually, the FBI intervened and shut down Silk Road in 2013 due to its involvement in illegal activities. Regarded as the pioneer of darknet markets, Silk Road was the first online platform that allowed the exchange of illegal goods for Bitcoin. During its operation, a staggering 70% of the items available on Silk Road were related to drugs, followed by counterfeit driver's licenses and pirated music and movies. Despite this, it's important to note that not all items for sale were illegal, as the website had guidelines against harmful products. Nonetheless, the platform became synonymous with the illicit activities that have come to define the dark web. Assassins on the dark web. The dark web has been shrouded in myths, with one of the most prominent being the idea that it offers a marketplace for hiring assassins. Some claim that such services come at a shockingly low price, like $5,000. However, no verifiable records of actual assassination attempts or hired killers operating on the dark web have ever been discovered. Instead, what researchers have come across is a network of dark websites and individuals who purportedly accepted Bitcoin payments in exchange for something that never materialized, essentially a scam. These fraudsters were capitalizing on the aura of secrecy that surrounds the dark web. Interestingly, real-world instances of injuries and murders have been linked more to platforms like Craigslist and other similar websites available on the regular internet rather than the elusive dark web. Other myths and facts. The media has a penchant for attention-grabbing stories, which has led to the emergence of myths and urban legends surrounding the dark web. While it's true that illegal items were once prevalent for sale on this hidden part of the internet, though they are now less common, it's important to note that the dark web has its own set of limitations. For instance, contrary to popular belief, hosting a live stream isn't feasible there. This means that while exploring the dark web, you won't come across the kind of depravity and horrors that some stories may suggest. However, you do run the risk of falling victim to scams, potentially losing money for a service or product that will never materialize. Maybe there would be a higher chance of seeing a crime a couple of blocks down the street or even on popular social networks. Is the dark web illegal? Not everything on the dark web is illegal, and using browsers like Tor doesn't automatically lead to legal consequences. However, as the dark web gained notoriety, certain countries, most notably China, started placing restrictions on it. In fact, China went to the extent of making Tor illegal due to the high level of encryption it offers. Furthermore, the once presumed complete anonymity of dark web visitors has diminished, making it advisable to employ a VPN for added protection. All things considered, the dark web remains a subject of fascination for numerous individuals. Similar to Dorothy's curiosity in peering behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz, many of us possess an eagerness to understand what the hype is all about. Yet, a significant number of these curious souls may end up disappointed upon discovering that the dark web is essentially a collection of websites with content not vastly distinct from their everyday online experiences. Once the mysterious curtain is pulled open, the reality often boils down to interactions involving Bitcoin and a community primarily consisting of scammers. Actually, we tried to offer a general framework of this mysterious subject and clear up some ambiguities. It is obvious that we cannot know about the whole aspects of dark web, and actually it doesn't seem logical enough to put ourselves at risk by entering this kind of environment. There might be some serious dangers in this space that we are not aware of yet. So we do not recommend you to have activity there. What practical points do you know in this field? Which warnings do you think could help others? Share your thoughts with us through the comments.